Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you've had a safe and awesome week. I didn't realize till about 30 minutes before the show that yesterday I didn't share that the show was going to be on today. So, might just be me and Ed and Nope talking to each other, which is fine. Uh, a little bit of housekeeping. I know this number fluctuates. The last time I did this, we lost like 5 subscribers. But for right now, we're holding at 651. That's 149 away from my small goal of 800 subs by the end of the year. I'm really excited. Again, I always say the fact that anybody tunes in and hangs out uh, is awesome. If you're new here, there's not really a format to this show. I'll post links to other channels that I follow that they actually have their stuff together. This is more of a hangout. There are some topics. I do have kind of a theme for tonight, and basically what this stemmed from was uh, I decided for whatever reason, I watched The Boys. I was like, you know what? I've never actually read the entirety, and I'm not talking about the side trades or anything, but the whole 71, 72 issues of The Boys. I've never read all of them. So I think I'm going to do that. So it took me a couple days, but I did. And I was like, this reminded me a long time ago. This is about 5 years ago now. We used to do something called Question of the Week when we were Triangle of Truth. Um, but I had a question that was exactly the topic tonight. What comics were you interested in that for some reason or another you just never started? This video is from 5 years ago, and some of the books that I brought back on here are ones from that list that I still haven't read. So, again, like I usually say to people, your to read pile is to add to, not to actually go through. This is, trust me, this is definitely one of those shows where I have so much stuff that I need to read that I will never have just nothing to read. Um, Again, folks, your first time joining us, this is the Hydra Hangout on Hydrasylum Comics. No, we're not a store. I really need to start putting that in our bios on some of our socials because there's a lot of people that, they see Hydrasylum Comics and they assume, hey, this might be a store. Let me shoot my shot, which go for it, folks, but we're not a store. We put the comics part in there because it just made it easier to find. Definitely a lot easier to find than our old name, Triangle of Truth, which we just showed up with conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But turn my volume up here a little bit. So yeah, go and check that video out. See Jay from 5 years ago talking about books and how he was going to dig into this, and he never did. There's I think one book on here I read one volume of. There's a couple other things before we get to that, but I'm going to tell you this. Again, I always say this. This might be a quicker show tonight, only because unlike the ones that I've done before, where it was ones I was suggesting to people, I don't know a ton about these. I know very, very basic things why I was interested in the books. In fact, I might not even say the same thing today that I said 5 years ago about these books. But I just thought this was a cool thing, talk to people about stuff I haven't read. And if there's somebody out there in the chat or somebody watching on Rewind that has read any of this stuff, you want to drop a synopsis, try to keep it as spoiler free as you can, just not only for me, but for others that might be interested in these. Um, Please feel free. So that's what the comments are for, is for y'all to interact with us, just like the chat on here. Now, I'm also going to tell you before I bring him on, Ed is watching another game. So expect, I think, even a little bit more craziness than last week because they're the underdogs in this one. So go sports ball, score many touch goals, get the hole in one in the hoop, all that jazz. Let's welcome so far right now one half of the weirdos, the weird one himself, Mr. Eddie Von B.
Hell Hydra. Go football hoops. Holes in one. That was awesome. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm getting geared up for next week. Next week's going to be a busy work week. Kyle is traveling to Baltimore to get set up for PoFest. So
What's going on next week?
he actually goes to Baltimore to start setting up for PoFest in October. So next week it'll be pretty sure me running the show.
Oh wow, you get to do them all.
I think so. I
Oh, you
think I
got
might
fun with
be.
that.
I love all the shows. It ain't gonna bother me much. It might mean that next week's show, which is luckily enough falls in between my birthday. By the time we get going with the show, it'll be the 14th. That'll be my birthday, so it'll just be a birthday stream where we just hang out and chit chat anyway. So it'll be super easy. Good way to. I love my job, but it will still be a good way to decompress from the week we're about to have.
When is your like super long stream? Is that still a couple weeks away?
Yes, that's on Local Comic Shop Day on the 27th of September. So
Oh, a couple weeks away yet. Okay.
I think it's going to be here for me sooner than sooner than I think it is. I'm real excited for what we're doing there. I can't wait till we get to share a little bit more about what we're doing with Local Comic Shop Day and the experience. We're going to be in a lot of stores, a lot of interviews. It's going to be a good time. Kyle can always explain this stuff better than I can. I just get overexcited and I'm like, we're doing this and this stuff, and he can tell everyone the ins and outs. So make sure that you are tuned in to the experience. You're subbed up. You got that bell going. That way you don't miss anything that's going on. Because folks, we're doing some great things. I'm just glad that we're not. I don't want to say glad, but we're not doing like Batman Day on top, because they're like a week apart. And I think the last Batman Day, there you go. Last Batman Day, we started at 4 or 5 in the morning, and we went till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning the next night or the next day. So
I
really
managed
excited
to get
for
to the
that.
mute button quick.
Okay. So got a couple of things again, like I said, to talk about before we get to the topic. So you know how we do here. We post a lot of links to Kickstarters and things like that. And I got a couple that I'm going to post right now. Vampirella blind bag from Dynamite. There's also going to be a Wizard of Oz by Sue Lee pre-launch to go and check out. Ed dropped out, and that's all right, folks. Let's see. We got Curse of Cleaver County by our good friend Garrett Gunn is pre-launched or is pre-launched. Is in the pre-launch phase. Huh, almost done. Then we got 2 things coming from Comics Tribe that are both pre-launch. First one is going to be epic. As I told you, that's the story about the teenage boy who gets powers, and his kryptonite is pretty girls. So really fun story. Cannot wait for this one. Now the next one, even though Ed's not on here right now, when he pops back on, I'll probably show this again. But Comics Tribe also has. Oh, there he is.
Oops.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good. You showed up at the right time, because this one I found specifically for you. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is such an Ed thing." This is Sync, the Halloween special.
Ooh.
I got the link scrolling. I'll make sure I post in the chat too. This is in pre-launch. Apparently, Kickstarter has rolled out some stuff even for pre-launch. Like you see right there, there's pre-launch stretch goals. So make sure anything in pre-launch, folks, you hit that notify me on launch button. That way you can be notified when this thing goes live. I'm so excited.
It's kind of interesting that they're in a pre-launch for a Halloween book. You're never going to get it by Halloween.
Yeah.
Unless they can get you the PDF.
PDF, yeah. I'm not exactly sure. To me, you can give me this book New Year Day, I wouldn't care. Sync is
True.
that good. It's such an awesome story. Uh, man, I have a review of Sync way back in the channel days, like 4 or 5 years ago, where I reviewed the first one.
Has
This
it been
thing
that
has,
long already? Wow.
yeah. We started this channel, I think exactly 5 years ago. I think so.
Well,
At
happy
least,
50-year reunion.
thank you. Uh, we were doing stuff before that, but we didn't actually launch the YouTube channel. I think till about 5 years ago. So, like I said, and back then we'd be lucky to hit double digits in views, which was fine. We just, again, it's all about having fun doing this. It's just nice to see. It's nice to see some folks watching stuff. Like the next thing that I wanted to bring up was the other day, out of nowhere, James Gunn dropped Man of Tomorrow in theaters July 9th of 2027. And we got this awesome Jim Lee right here. And then David Cornsweat posted this one. I want to say it's Jorge Jimenez art. Unfortunately, I could not figure out who this artist was that Nicholas Holt posted. Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I can't tell who the artist is on this, but and then we got the Jim Lee without I don't dig the suit, but I do like this picture or this no, this is Jorge Jimenez. I do like this a whole lot. Like I like this print a lot. But I'm already excited for this. I have two of the same slides here. Hold on just a second, folks. This is what happens when you do it live.
You been reading any of the gossip about that movie?
No, not yet. I know
I
that
heard that I heard that it was going to be a Superman Lex team up.
against Brainiac.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I'm
okay.
hearing.
That part I've heard. I'm very interested.
It would
On,
be a cool transition after that speech that
yeah,
Superman gave Lex about, someday I hope you can realize you could make a positive difference too. So
exactly.
that would be kind of cool. A good progression.
Yeah, we had. Let's see. What was I going to say? So I saw that, and I was telling Henri on kicking it with Henri when we did the Wednesday show because he took Tuesday off. I was like, I'm hoping that this will do what it did for Superman comics. There is a Superman, the Man of Tomorrow comic. I just got the writer wrong. I thought it was John Byrne. John Byrne is the Man of Steel. Uh,
Do you find the title a little interesting in that Supergirl or whatever hers is Woman of Tomorrow?
well, they dropped that, but the
Oh, they dropped it?
yeah, they dropped. It's just Supergirl now.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, kind of like how they did Superman Legacy. I think
Yeah,
they were going to call it.
yeah.
Um, well, that's what had a lot of people thinking because again, when we thought we were getting Henry Cavill Man of Steel 2, we thought since the first movie is called Man of Steel, the next one was going to be called Man of Tomorrow. So I like the fact that it was Roger Stern that did the Man of Tomorrow comics because it's in my pull list and it's actually one of my books tonight. So a slight spoiler with that one. Um, I'm guessing that because they were going to use Man of Tomorrow, that's might be why they dropped Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Huh.
But who knows? Who knows what's going on over there with the naming of things? But I saw this, did a short for it, just because I was excited. It's just one of those I threw out there, and then I think the same day or the day after, we got the Marvel Zombies trailer, and that thing looks so good. I'm I've been excited for that one since they did the What If episode of Marvel Zombies. So this one looks like how I described it in the video. The reaction that I did was it's going to be TVMA, but it's not going to be like a language thing like how Peacemaker has sex and language and violence. I think it's really just going to be violence alone. I didn't notice until after I watched it that one of the characters was like Blade Knight. It was a cross between Blade and Moon Knight. And those are two characters that I was like, okay. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this. It doesn't look like they're really following, they're not following the comic at all. Oop. But again, I'm still not wild about the animation. I don't know why we started going with that kind of animation, but the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, okay, I'm over it. So excited to see that. All right, I think that's about it. And so what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to jump into my comics I've been wanting to read, but for whatever reason, just haven't. So let's start out with the first one. Come on now. That's why I had the second one. There we go. Did you just hear my Xbox turn on?
No, you heard my buddy I'm watching football with text me.
Oh.
He was asking me WTF, and I'm like, IDK. Yeah.
LOL.
NOP.
And whatnot. Okay, so first one I got on my list, which was on my original list from 5 years ago, is 100 Bullets. I can't tell you where I heard this one. It might have been a reviewer, or I was just going through books one time. I do that sometimes where I'm just like, hey, I've never heard of this. What is this? Basically, this woman on the cover is given 100 bullets, untraceable, and I guess she can kill anybody she wants to with no repercussions. I want to say that the fun thing about this is it was 100 issues. But again, it's one of those, I heard the premise of it, and I was like, man, I want to read that. 5 years ago, I was like, man, I want to read this. 5 years later, still haven't read it. One of these days, I'll do a video where I'll be like, hey, this is the stuff from, by that time, 10 years ago. I said I've been wanting to read, and I finally got to it. So, again, this one is just an interesting concept to me. Like, if you were a person who, I think the character's their family has been murdered. And if that happened to you and somebody brought you 100 untraceable bullets, it was basically like, you will never get caught, but you can only use these 100 bullets. Like when 100 bullets are done, that's it. The killing spree's over. What would you do? Would you use those 100 bullets? Or it's one of those morally gray kind of questions to me. So all that to say, it's a book that I find interesting that I've never read. It's on my list though, on my ever growing. Just I got more comics in my list than we probably do on our shelves.
I'd like to think I'd do the right thing, but I don't know. That's interesting concept for a book.
Same. 100%. This is Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso. So, like I said, it's one that it's been on my list for years now, and I don't know why. I will go back and read older books. Like I said, I just went back and read all of The Boys. I just watched all The Boys. We have all these streaming services, and I find myself either watching stuff I've already seen or using them all to find old cartoons. Like,
I need to finish The Boys. I got that Humble Bundle from Dynamite, and it has all the Boys comics in it, but I haven't read. I think the last one I read was like 24 or something like that, so I'm quite far behind on it too.
Yeah, the only issue that I have with how they do it is the main story is like 72 issues, but they have these offshoot stories that have their own trades. And not that they tie majorly into the main story, but it does feel like you're missing some stuff if you don't read those offshoot stories. That's my only complaint that I think I had is I just like when rewatching The Boys after season 3 ended, I should have watched Gen V because stuff in season 4 makes more sense if you've watched Gen V in between. And it's kind of weird when comics do that too, because it's like, but again, I guess they think if you're getting 72 issues of a comic, you might be a fan and you'll grab the other stuff. Maybe that's their thinking behind it. No idea. But yeah, and on to this one, 100 bullets. It's happening. It's happening. I was actually going to read a book called Escape today, but got so sidetracked with things that I didn't. I'll be reading that after the show. That way, during the week on the EXP, there's people that asked me if I'd read Escape yet. I'll be able to answer them. I just didn't do it today. So, next one we got up is Ex-Machina. This is another one that I have no idea where I heard this one from. But I ended up reading the little synopsis, and it's the gentleman in the front. His last name is like 100. I can't remember his first name, but he either used to be a superhero and retired, or he was a superhero, got into an accident that turned like the left side of his body, scarred him up like a circuit board, and somehow from that he got power over technology, and then came back as a superhero. Like, again, I'm not going to know too much about these. These are just ones that I saw and I was like, that looks interesting. This is a Wildstorm book. Brian K. Vaughan, and can't read the artist, but Brian K. Vaughan, Saga, and I'm pretty sure I got another book or two of his on this list. Fantastic writer. So this is on my list from 5 years ago, and can't tell you why other than being busy and reading the same things over and over again that I hadn't read it yet. So,
it probably has nothing to do with it, but that's a heck of a good movie if you've never seen the Ex-Machina movie.
is that the one with Alicia Vikander as the android or something?
Yeah. And it's got a neat little twist to it. I really like it.
Yes.
But I don't know if that has anything to do with the comic. I doubt it.
Yeah, I think it's completely different.
But you got to admit, that's an awful random name to have different things called it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think, well, this came out, God, mid to early 2000s, I think, something like that. But
that's probably right around the same time the movie did.
Oh man, time just keeps on.
Isn't that crazy?
I thought that movie was like 6 or 7 years ago or something.
Oh no, it's been way long.
Oh,
now I'm gonna Google. I think I've owned it longer than that.
But yeah, that's Ex-Machina from Brian K. Vaughan. I think I got a couple of these that are. I think the majority of these were on my list from that video, but next one I got up is one that I've read an issue or two of. It's extreme. Like, this feels like Garth Ennis got to do stuff that he couldn't do in The Boys with this book. Basically, there's a virus that happens, hence the cross mark across the guy's face. It's some weird blistering, and it basically gets rid of any and all inhibitions in humans and just turns them into murdering, just sexual deviants.
Mm-hmm. That's a good series.
It's the 2 issues that I read. I was like, wow.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It really is not. Like, if you've read The Boys and the pictures of what Homelander has done disturb you, that's like the entirety of most of this book is stuff like that happening.
Yep.
Like it is crazy. And like I said, there's a lot of these that it's not that I haven't read any of it. It's just I haven't read enough. Or there's going to be a couple on this list that people are going to be like, "You've never read that?" I'm like, "Well, I started it and then never finished it." So I have some of those on my list too. The ones
There's
that I
a
want to complete.
there's a spin-off comic of Cross that's even worse, and I can't remember what it is right now. It's Crossed something, but I can't remember the other word. But I read that too, and it's even worse than the Crossed. It's
There's
crazy.
like there's like Crossed Plus,
Oh, that ain't it.
Crossed.
Seems like it started with an R, like Resurrection or Redemption or something like that. I don't know. I only have a couple of those because they were getting a little bit too wow.
See, Crossed 100, Crossed Psychopath. Wow, I didn't realize these might be names of
Yeah.
Crossed 3D, Get Infected, Dead or Alive. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
I didn't realize there was that there was that many. Okay.
Yeah, it took off.
Yeah, it's one of those, I've read other things by Garth. This is not everything that he writes. Apparently, these are the things, though, the boys in this are things that folks get stuck on when thinking about Garth Ennis. It's like Garth has a lot of stuff he's done that's nothing like these.
Well, you have to admit that the boys in Cross make an impression.
That is true. Whether it's the right one or not,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, like I said, I've only done 2 issues of this. This has been on my list for years. I'm gonna eventually sit down and get this one going. All right, so next up, this one's kind of silly to me. And a lot of these I chose the when I found them in the condensed paperback thing that DC's been doing. Those are the pictures I grabbed. Why the Last Man? The reason I picked this is another Brian K. Vaughan book. The reason I picked this was because I was watching an episode of Chuck. I was late to the Chuck party, so I was binging it. Never watched the 5th season, by the way. I still get to like season 4, and then I fall off and do other things, and then I forget everything, and I have to rewatch it over and over again. But there's an episode of Chuck. I think it's called Chuck versus the Nacho Sampler, where he's in a bar and he's reading Why the Last Man. Now, at first, I thought it might have been a TV prop. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is a real comic. And basically, what happens is there's a kind of, I don't want to say sexual virus, but it's a virus that only takes out the male part of the species, except for Y. Uric is the guy's name, but they call him Y. But his name is Uric Brown, I think, and his male pet monkey, Ampersand, which I think is an awesome name for an animal, Ampersand.
You said pet monkey.
Yeah, this is pet monkey. um, so ever since seeing that episode of Chuck and actually looking up what the book is about, I know there was a show. I never watched it. It was one of those things, kind of like Lock and Key. The original Lock and Key had a completely different cast. It was an unaired episode, and then a couple years later, they turned it into the Netflix show, Lock and Key. This one, I want to say that it was going to be a different direction, and then they changed it, put it out on TV. It only lasted a season. Never watched it, but have always been interested in reading it. I hear good things about it. Again, it's just one of those, it's just on the back burner with everything that comes out. So eventually, again, maybe 10 years down the road, I'll actually get into this one. But again, Brian K. Vaughan, love all his other work. So no doubt I'll probably like this one too. Let's see. Okay, so we actually kind of had a discussion, not really a discussion about this. on the Geek Chat this past Wednesday or Thursday. I'm sorry. The Geek Chat. They were talking about. I don't think they were talking about Legend or Immortal Legend of the Batman, but somehow it got brought up. They reviewed the book the week before. I think they were talking about another Batman, the Matt Fraction Batman, and they didn't seem to really dig this one a whole lot, or dig the Immortal Legend Batman one. And Des said it's because it reminded him too much of Power Rangers and this book right here, Radiant Black. Now, myself, I'm not a big Power Ranger reader. And although Sean collected these, I'd never read Radiant Black. So in my brain, Mortal Legend Batman was solid because I didn't have these other books that I read to be like on my mind. Oh, it's just like this. So this was on my list beforehand. Like the day before I asked them, which next Thursday, folks, or this coming Thursday, I should say, or next Thursday, I don't know. At 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central on the Geek Chat, I asked a question about what comics they were interested in that they haven't read yet. They're going to answer that on their next show. I already had the show set up, and Kyle was teasing me when he said I was content mining the channel. It's like I already had this, and our answers are probably going to be totally different. But this one right here, it's always interested me. Sean was real big into it. He's collected Radiant Red, Radiant Pink, and I think some other Massive Verse stuff. On Instagram, if you look up Radiant Black on Instagram, they have somebody who's made some animated stuff like cartoons. That has Will Friedle or Friedel. I don't remember how to say his name from Boy Meets World, who did not only the voice of Deadpool and Ultimate Spider-Man, but he was also Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond. So they got him voicing this character. Like I said, it seems really cool. It's just one of those things that I don't know what I was doing around this time. I just never even thought to ask Sean, hey, can I borrow some of your issues so I can read it? But apparently this thing is still going. They still got a bunch of stuff that they're doing for it. So again, it's this definitely was not on my list 5 years ago, but it's on my list now.
Go, 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 go!
Yep, there you go. Touchdown. Score goal.
Touchdown, Michigan! Yes! Damn!
Oh,
sorry, I forgot to mute.
You're good. You're good.
I got excited. He broke one.
Nice.
78-yard touchdown run. Not that anybody but me cares, but you're going to have to deal with it.
Yes, touchdown.
So, anyways, sorry.
No, you're good.
I warned you ahead of time.
Oh, I know. So yeah, eventually I just need to break down and be like, hey, Sean, can I borrow this so I can read it?
You know what's funny is I have some Radiant Blacks that have what do they call it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. I'm losing my brain because we scored. What's it called when the artist draws a little sketch on the cover?
I think the little sketches are remarks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I have like 4 of those with remarks on them, and I've never read them because of the remarks on them. Huh. But do you even know what it's about? Because people have told me it's like werewolves and stuff.
Not from what I've seen.
I was just curious because I haven't cracked the cover, but people are telling me you need to read it. You need to read it. I'm like, I don't want to read it. It's got like a $100 drawing on the cover.
Oh, it's a superhero book.
Okay.
Where
well, it's just weird because he drew the Wolfman on one of them, and he drew like this other monster thing on the other one. And I don't know if it was just because he knew I like monsters or what, but I haven't cracked the cover on one yet either. I'll have to ask Sean.
Yeah, all I know is it's a sci-fi superhero book.
Okay, well, forget it then. I wonder why he drew all that stuff on there then.
Thank you, Kilted Corgi. How's it going? So, next one I got on here was, oh, those are good ones. You know what, Kilted? That's actually something I should add to my list too. I have yet to read any of the Transformers GI Joe Energon Universe stuff, any of it. And again, it's not because I'm not excited to. It's just for some reason I just haven't gotten around to it. There's so much stuff out there. Let's see the next one. So here's one that people are going to be scratching their heads about. Something is killing the children. Um, I've told this story before. Uh, when Jenna worked at the comic shop, she was able to bring trades home, read them, take them back, stuff like that. And oh, okay. Um, well, her and Sean ended up reading the first volume of this, and before I could get to it, she had to take it back to work. The two of them loved that first volume. Sean started collecting, I think, at issue 7 or 8, and then he had to get a different printing of the first ones. I still haven't read it. Again, I could easily walk up to Sean or go get it myself and read this. I just haven't yet. Like the closest I've come to reading anything something is killing the children was for in stores this week. I think we read like issue 24 or 27 or something like that. I've read 2 issues of something that's killing the children, and it's way farther down in the series. Uh, I tried the House of Slaughter, wasn't my thing. There was another book that came out, but as far as something is killing the children goes, I've never read the beginning, and that's been on my list forever. I will hopefully the David are the David Mack covers the ones that are white kilted. Let me know because I think those are the ones Sean got too. I think they were white covers with David Mack art on them. I wish he was awake. I could ask him. Uh, but yeah, I hear great things about this. I mean, it's got to be some staying power because I don't even know how many issues this thing is up to. So there's got to be something about it that there's something about the book.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, prequel is out soon. I did read a Zero. Now I remember. I read. Okay, they are the white cover. Cool. Yeah, those are nice. Those are nice covers. I went and looked at it today. This cover right here in some places is like over $300 for a first print of this book. That's insane. It's so strange what just takes off. I saw that and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Okay, they're 28. Okay, well maybe I didn't read as far as I thought I did, but there's no hate on this book. I'm not a person that's like, oh, everybody likes it, so I don't. No, I just haven't had the opportunity again to read it, and I really should. I mean, I've had opportunities, but I've just been lazy.
I'll be that guy, but I won't hate on it. I tried it and it didn't do anything for me.
No,
It just wasn't my kind of horror. What I call horror and what other people call horror are just different.
yeah,
That's all.
Suspiria Zero cover. Ooh, that does sound awesome. But yes, I'm going to be. I'm gonna make it a goal to where I pick one of these on my list and read one and review one for a show, just to make myself accountable, to keep me accountable for reading one of these series. Now, doesn't mean I'm probably going to read, or it doesn't mean that I'm going to read all 100 issues of 100 Bullets, but I'll be consistent enough with it because it might get boring reviewing the same book for 100. But I'll do as many as I can, and unfortunately, that's how I have to read too. Like I got to read a bunch of something. I'm not very good at. Let me read this issue. Let me read 2 issues of this. Let me read 3 issues of that. That's one of the problems that I had with on in stores this week. Was at one point there was like 5 different Red Sonja books that we were reading, and I got all of them confused with each other all the time. So I'm going to start off kind of small. I'm going to pick one. If I get to 20 issues of it, more than likely I'm going to keep reading it. But I'm going to do that coming soon. I'll have a little spot in the show where I was like, I read number blah 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 of this book today. I'm going to review it. That's what I'm going to do. It'll also help me. It's not like a have to thing. It'll actually help me because I've been wanting to read this stuff, and it kind of gives me a little bit more of a reason. All right. So next one was also on my list from 5 years ago. Preacher.
Oh, yeah, I've always wanted to read that one too.
Now, again, not having read Preacher, I know how this is going to sound to fans of Preacher. I liked the show. The Preacher show, I really, really liked. That's another thing, though. We never finished it. We watched the first season and a half, never finished it. Have to go back and reread that, or rewatch it. But I've always, like, the minute I found out about this show and there's like, oh yeah, it was based on a comic, I was like, oh really? And then to learn also, Preacher and the boys are in the same universe.
What?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep. Apparently Cassidy is like a bartender or something in the boys universe.
No kidding.
One of the boys books. He's either at the bar or he's a bartender. I can't remember what exactly they said, but they've come out and said they exist in the same universe.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is funny if you think about it, because so Preacher is DC Vertigo. And when the boys started out, it was DC Wildstorm, I believe. Before and I think they only went 6 issues. So I don't know if that's like a little Easter egg that they snuck in there with Dynamite or how they did it. But
that seems like a really odd crossover to have in the same storyline, though. Because isn't Preacher the one about the disgruntled preacher that gets the powers of God or whatever, and he has to fight demons? Is that Preacher?
Yeah, he I don't know if it's a demon or something, but he basically gets like the voice of God. So whatever he, like, if he tells somebody to do something, they do it. They have to do it.
See, now imagine him being in control of the whatever they're called again, the boys. I can't remember the name. The 7? Is that what they call them? Something like that.
Yeah, the team of the 7.
Imagine if they had to do whatever he said. They do bad enough stuff on their own.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, here we go. I had to look it up just so I was like, man, did I have a fever dream about that? No, in volume 4 of the boys, it's called We Gotta Go Now. There's a vampire character from Preacher that's Cassidy, is in a cameo role as an older human bartender. Cassidy and Butcher even have a conversation. So that's really cool. And I didn't even look for it when I was rereading. Like, again, I read the 72 issues of it, and I didn't even pick up on that. I need to go back to that particular story. That's the other thing I really like about the boys. The fact that most of them are named like either song titles or movies, or there was a Michael Caine movie, and I can't remember what movie it was, but there was some kind of explosion, and Michael Caine said something about you blew the bloody doors off, and that's the name of one of their comics. Like, they got some interesting names for the boys, but yeah. So, like I said, I enjoyed the show. I know people that love the comic did not like the show that much, but again, this is one that I was like, well, if I dig the show and people like the comic, I probably like the comic. Again, Garth Ennis's writing is right up my alley. So,
Me too. He's one of my favorites.
yep. Another one from the list from 5 years ago. This is Wanted. So, this got made into a movie. And when I watched it, I didn't know it was a comic. Apparently, this is another one of those instances where the movie is so far removed from the comic. It's people told me, like, look, even if you didn't like, which I wasn't the biggest fan of the Wanted movie, it felt like they were on the verge of teasing superpowers, but they weren't superpowers. And it was just, I don't know, just wasn't for me. Curving of the Bullet stuff was cool, but I don't know, just wasn't my favorite. So they were like, if you didn't like the movie, go read the comics. Like, our main guy is not a good person. Like, the Wesley they presented in the movie was a lot better of a person than the Wesley character that's in this book. And this is a world where superheroes existed, but all the supervillains got together, defeated most of them, and then brainwashed the rest of them, like the heroes that survived. So it's basically a world full of villains, supervillains. So when I watched the movie and was like, it was whatever. I'd never have to watch it again. I mean, James McAvoy and Samuel Jackson, they're great in it. Angelina Jolie, Common, like there's a lot of good actors in it. Just wasn't for me. So when I heard it was a comic and I looked it up, and people were like, "Dude, this is like night and day difference between this." And I got a couple other books on this list that are exactly like that. Except I enjoyed those movies a lot more. But I looked this up. I saw what it was about. Put it on the list 5 years ago. Again, I did spoil myself a bit. I will say that Henri had said something about his show about the final page of the final issue. And he was laughing so hard about it. I was like, okay, I can't wait to read this book and get to the final page. So I looked it up, and yeah, there's a reason Henri was laughing. That book ends. That's the weirdest way to end a book. And I'm not going to tell anybody what it was. So look it up if you want to find out. It's crazy. So that's Wanted. The next one I got is Polar. Yet again, something that we saw on Netflix, a Netflix movie with Mads Mikkelsen as the lead role. And I thought the movie was dope. It was spies, assassins, espionage, all that stuff. Really, really dope movie. It's been a while though. Been a while because obviously, if I put this on the list 5 years ago, it must have been 5 or 6 years ago now that I've seen the movie. But I was like, oh, okay, so this is a comic, and I went to look it up, and how you folks see the cover on the screen, that's the size of the book, kind of. It's one of those long, or wider, I should say, one of those wider books and kind of shorter. So it's an interesting way they did it. And once I start reading it, I might figure out maybe they did that for like as an artistic choice or what. Like I have a book called The Stuff of Legend that's kind of like that. Let me grab that real quick so I can show you all what I'm talking about. Anyway, so there we go. So notice it's kind of like square.
That's weird.
That Polar one is a little more rectangle, so it's a little bit longer, and I think maybe a little bit shorter than this one. This is about child's toys coming alive, kind of like Toy Story, to protect a kid at night from dangers and stuff. It's really good.
Oh, you said protect the kid.
Yeah.
I thought you said attack the kid, and I was like, whoa, I got to read that.
There's other things that attack him.
Interesting.
And then, like, you got a teddy bear that leads the charge. There's army men, all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, so Polar, like I said, once I found out it was a book, I was like, okay, I need to look for that. And then I just forgot about it. And it's been, like I said, it's been 6 years now since I've watched the movie. It's like I barely remember the movie, but also there's some really funny and just awesome kills in it as well. So if it's still on Netflix, because I know Netflix has this thing now where even Netflix originals kind of disappear sometimes. If you're into like assassin movies or older like Sisu, that movie Sisu, if you're into things like that, you might want to give this a watch. And if you end up enjoying it, see if you can find the book. Unlike me, who watched it, wanted to read the book, and never has, but it's on the list. All right, so this next one, Kaya. I know absolutely nothing about this other than a bunch of folks that I watch for reviews, the folks that I trust their opinions, I appreciate their opinions. They've all said really good things about this. I'm talking about Stu from Dr. Dew's fan club, Eric from 9 Panel Grid, Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, Robbie from PCP, Nick from Comic Culture. I'm probably missing somebody else in there, but all of them have said great things about this book. This is fairly recent, so it's not like I've been sitting on this one forever, but it says on there, after their village is destroyed, a young girl with a magic arm and a fighting spirit is tasked with delivering her little brother to a faraway safe harbor. There, he is destined to discover the secret to overthrowing the all-powerful empire that destroyed their home. Those guys talk about this book with high regards, and like I said, I respect all of their opinions. So it's kind of one of those things like when people would watch In Stores This Week with Kyle, Dan Wickline, and myself. If all three of us like something, more than likely there was something to it, and people would enjoy especially if all three of us liked it.
That show turned me on to so many good books. I really missed you guys' show.
Like I said, I want to try to do something sort of similar like that here. Like every now and then do a show where we kind of do open and honest reviews. If you don't like something, you don't like it. I never want anybody to be, well, everybody else likes it, so I need to. So no, I never want anybody to feel like they have to like something. And that's the thing about reviews. If you don't like something, there are plenty of books that I read back then that I didn't like. And I would tell people, take what I say about books with a grain of salt. If it looks interesting to you, by all means read it. We could be on total opposite sides of what a book means to folks. There was a book that Sean loves called Maniac of New York, and I just wasn't, it wasn't for me. And I told him, I said, said it's not like I feel like I wasted my time reading it or anything, but it just, I just didn't like it for some reason. So if I ever suggest anything and you don't like it, all good. Like it's not gonna hurt my feelings if people don't like stuff that I like, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like we all got different tastes. There's gonna be something out there for everyone. But like I said, when I trust the folks that talk about this book a lot, and
Maniac from New York could have been a lot better, but to me it was kind of like Crocodile Dundee. You know how Crocodile Dundee was a lot more fun when it was in Australia?
yeah,
Well, this book, I mean, face it, it's a knockoff of Friday the 13th, except they like bring him
nope,
into the big city.
yeah,
Oh, it's Snowpine?
yeah. He is in the chat.
Oh, he's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Did your nephew win the game?
Yeah, let us know.
He scored a touchdown or a hole in one or a field goal, a hockey goal or whatever.
Hole in one right through the hoop.
There you go. I knew you said something. I love that line. Hole in one through the hoop. Nothing but net.
Yes. What were you saying about Maniac New York?
It could have been better, but it was like Crocodile Dundee was more enjoyable when he was in Australia. And when he came to the city, it was okay, but soon it just became cliche after cliche.
True.
It's kind of the same way with Maniac New York. Jason was really cool when he was in the camp and all that stuff, and but then they kind of brought a copycat of him into the big city, and it just didn't take with me. It seemed like it was too contrived, and they tried too hard to not be a copycat, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And it didn't stick with me. It's not bad. I won't diss it, but I had higher hopes when I saw it.
Gotcha.
If you're a fan of Jason X, you'd probably like it.
Which is crazy because he just wanted his machete back.
Yes, exactly.
And they won. Congratulations to your nephew.
All right, nice.
So yeah. Anyway, that's Kaya. That's a recent ad. Like I said, hearing those folks talk about this book has me really excited to read it. So next one up is. So there was a while back.
Is that the movie?
Want to say 5 or 6 years ago, because that's when I put this on this list, because that was another one from that video. This is when Hanna-Barbera and DC were doing crossovers. I don't remember them all. I know there was Elmer Fudd with someone, Snagglepuss. There was a couple of them. I can't remember them all, but this one wasn't necessarily a crossover. This is just the Flintstones. But I heard great things about it. Like, I watched reviews on it because, when Hanna-Barbera was with DC, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure we have some of these crossover ones or Hanna-Barbera ones from DC, but I don't remember. But the thing that makes me laugh the
Kill
most,
him!
Yes. Yes, do it. The thing that made me laugh when I went back and watched that video was, as soon as I saw the Flintstones, I just hear Jelani's voice in my head yelling about the theme, about hearing the theme song all the time, like throughout the movie. That PCP movie night with the Flintstones was awesome.
Tell me though that Fred doesn't look like John Goodman's Fred in that cover.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And even Wilma looks. I can't remember her name, but the Wilma from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought maybe it was the comic of the movie. I was like, I didn't know they made one.
Apparently, like from what people told me about this and why I wanted to read it, they're like, it's great writing. It's got a lot of heart and it's funny. Like, it's not something, they didn't take the Flintstones and try to make them all dark and gritty or anything. It's just a funny Flintstones book. So again, this has been sitting on my to read list for the last 5 years. Haven't gotten around to it. Eventually will. I don't think there's a whole lot of trades to this one. Maybe 2 or 3. I don't think this went very far. But again, it's one that one I'll definitely be checking out here very soon. I'm going to push some of these newer stuff. The newer stuff is going to eventually down the road be the stuff that I put on the list of things I haven't watched or haven't read that I want to. And my reasoning will be because I was reading all the old stuff that I was supposed to read. So next one, getting closer to the stuff that wasn't on my 5 year ago list. / Resurrection. I think I read issue 1 of this. I loved it, and for whatever reason, never read anything else. I am a huge / fan. I am one of those people that have been waiting for this to be a movie or be a TV show. Once they get like if they ever decided and somebody set me straight on it, and I think it was Henri that told me that Tim Seeley has no interest in any of his stuff being optioned, I guess. Which again, I can respect that, but for me personally, if they ever did something with this, I would love it. I mean, if they got licenses from to certain characters, because this is like crossover the book without it being actually the crossover comic. Um, you have Hackslash's Evil Ernie, Vampirella, Ash from the Evil Dead, uh, the Doctor from oh damn it, Jeffrey Combs' character. It's not the Resurrector.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Reanimator.
Reanimator. There you go. Reanimator. Like it's crossed over with real life people, with Chucky, with just with a ton of things. The Crow. It's crossed over so much. And again, this is one of those I have no idea. The Resurrection one I missed out on. I did read the one where it was like kind of a prequel where they were in school. They were like it was like a high school or something, or an all girls school, something like that. I read that one. I really dug it. This one though, for whatever reason, it just skipped right over. So I'm gonna make sure I go back and read that. If you have not read Hack Slash, folks, give this book a try. It is funny. It's like horror comedy. It's I don't know. I can't explain it. I really love this series, and I was late to the party when reading it, but when I got into it, I got into it. I
Where does
collected
it
much
where
of
does
it.
it get its name from? What's the hackslash part? What is that?
Okay, so Cassie, the main character, her last name is Hack. Her name is Cassandra Hack.
Mm,
And what they call the Revenants, which is the government name, they're slashers. So she starts this. I think in one version of the story, she starts this company with her partner Vlad, who is a revenant, but he was raised by a really good person. Like this person found him and raised him. So he how they first meet is she thinks he's a slasher and she goes after him. And when she finds out that he's different, that's when they team up.
hmm,
So I think the hack slash comes from that.
interesting.
But yeah, for whatever reason, I missed out on this one. I need to go back. I need more hack slash. I This is one of my favorite series that Tim Seeley does. Let's see. Finally, I've reached one. Saga from Byron K. Vaughan. This was on my list from 5 years ago, but I actually read at least volume one of this.
Nice.
Uh, this was one of those about the same time I picked up Invincible. Again, late to the party on both of those. I heard how amazing these were, and I used both of these in a video where it was books people hyped up for you that lived up to the hype. For Invincible, it took an issue
Yes.
or two. Yes, score the hole.
Now we just got to fumble.
Oh, it took an issue or two for me to be like, okay, this Invincible is amazing. It definitely the hype is so real for it. Saga, it took me the first page. This book, like all that stuff people say about Saga, they're absolutely right. At least the first volume, folks. I haven't read past the first volume. This story is so dope. It's like space opera, freaking weirdness.
It's
TV
crazy.
owning
It's
each
crazy.
other.
I love it. I'm glad you finally got to read some of it. That's one of my favorite reads.
It's so good, man. Like
And it's not even horror, and I like
no,
it.
and that should say something, folks.
Yeah, it does. For anybody that knows me, it does.
Yes, exactly. Nope. Score the hole. So yeah, again, I've read at least the first volume of this one, but this is definitely another one of those I want to tackle very soon. And I get lucky with some of these books because I know this one had like a very long hiatus, like 2 or 3 years of a hiatus, and um, it was kind of the same way with Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor, um, which is a Black Label book. When Sean had gotten me one for Christmas, I think I found out that folks have been waiting on the second book for like a year, and I only had to wait a couple months, so I got
I'm,
lucky with that.
I'm getting Reacher flashbacks.
Yeah,
You cheated and didn't have to wait.
that's good. That's because I had to start back at season one. I had to start back in season tackle the comic. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely, folks. This would also be one that I would suggest, even reading the first one, even only reading the first volume. This is one I would suggest to people. So it's a comics I'm interested in that I need to finish up reading, but it's also I would definitely tell somebody, hey, try this out. Let's see. I think nope. I got one more from my 5 year ago list on here that I still haven't read. I've read one issue, and there's only like 3 issues of this. I don't know. But this is Mike Grell's The Longbow Hunters, Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters. I am an unapologetic Archer fan. I love the Archers in comics. I wish there were more. I wish we had more Archers. I get it. They're just guys with flying sticks. I love these characters, man. Green Arrow is one of my favorites. I do like Hawkeye, but
Were you a
you know,
Robin Hood fan too?
oh yeah, Earl Flynn.
Oh yeah.
Like to be honest, there's only one Robin Hood movie I haven't watched. And that's the Taron Egerton one. But much like the Three Musketeers movies, there's not a Three Musketeer movie I don't like.
Mm.
Even
I
even the really weird one, the Musketeer.
the Three Musketeers from Walt Disney that they put out quite a few years ago. I love that movie. It's
Oh,
got
the one
it's got Charlie Sheen and
Kiefer Sutherland, Chris
yeah,
O'Donnell,
I
Oliver Platt.
love that movie.
Yes, 100%. Yes, and
And oh, I love that dude. I can't the guy that played the Cardinal, and I'm so ashamed of myself.
it's not Tim Curry.
Yes, I can
Oh, it
never
is.
remember his name. I love Tim Curry. Anything with him in it,
Yeah.
and he's outstanding as Cardinal Richelieu in that movie.
Yes.
Even Chris O'Donnell didn't ruin it like he does most things for me. Even he was good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the dude with the beard, I can never remember his name. That was good at getting all the wenches and just had a great sense of humor. He cracked the hell up out of me, man. I
Oliver
was
Platt.
laughing all through that movie with him.
Yeah. Oliver Platt.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I knew
He
exactly who
he
you were
was in
talking
that
about.
Schwarzenegger movie too, wasn't he? Wasn't he in that one True Lies or something similar to that where he played like he was like the tech guy in a van.
Maybe.
Mm.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to throw you a curveball.
No. You're good. You're good. But yeah, I love all that old stuff. And like I said, Earl Flynn, Robin Hood, Kevin Costner, Robin Hood. I take that back. I also haven't seen the Russell Crowe one. So I haven't seen the Russell Crowe Robin Hood or the Taron Egerton one. But the Walt Disney one with the fox, that
Oh
one,
yeah.
yeah,
Robin Hood, Little John walking through the forest.
oodalali oodalali,
Golly, what a day!
yeah. So I think that that formed my love for the Archers, and when Arrow first came out, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, Wait a minute, that's not Justin Hartley. Justin Hartley played Green Arrow on Smallville. They're actually doing it. It's really funny. It's a whole thing. They're actually going to be doing an Aquaman spinoff, which on one of the uh, seasons of Smallville, they have the unaired pilot of Aquaman, and Justin Hartley was going to be Aquaman. But then they got Alan Ritchson to play him in Smallville, so they changed him to Green Arrow. So when they first announced Arrow, I was like, man, what is this? And they're like, this is going to be a darker take. And then I ended up falling in love with Green Arrow all over again thanks to that show. So, uh,
Cool.
some of the best stuff that I've read: Green Arrow Rebirth, awesome. And then the complete Green Arrow by Kevin Smith. I'm halfway through that. I haven't read that whole thing yet. That should also be on the list, but this one is like quintessential reading for Green Arrow, and but I got a lot of that with a lot of characters. There's a lot of Superman books I haven't read. Shocker. Um, but yeah,
You know
this one.
that one is on my list now, and it's just because of all the controversy, the All Star Superman. I want to read that. I've heard so many 180 opinions on that where people love it or hate it, and I want to see what all the hullabaloo's about.
Most of my, I don't dislike it at all. I want people to understand that I like the book, and it's no disrespect at all for to Frank Quietly, but his art is very, very, very hit or miss for me, and it was just a miss in that book for me.
Oh, is that why? It's because of the art.
Just that's just me. That's
It's
just
not
me.
that spray paint goofy art that I
No,
can't stand. Is it?
no, it's just there's it's very strange because I like the art of the Ice Cream Man, and some of Frank Quietly's art kind of reminds me of the same artist, but for some reason, I just
See,
I don't know what it is.
you just named one on my list. I've never read an episode of Ice Cream Man. I've heard lots about it, but I didn't even know it was a horror book until it was already out like a year. And it was one of those things trying to go back. Now the number one issue was $80, and it's like, and I've just never picked one up. But that's on one of these days I hope to get to read list because I've heard good things about it.
Dope, and that's exactly Ed. At any time, man, if you think of a book, throw it out there to me.
Oh, I got tons of them. I was just waiting for you to finish.
Oh,
Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. When I was a kid, I was always reading Spidey comics. You've heard this story a million times before. But Swamp Thing was actually one of the first quote unquote horror type books that I was introduced to. And it was just that I found a few issues at my uncle's house while they were playing cards and I was like being snoopy like kids are.
mm-hmm.
And I sat down and I just started reading it. And I was just enthralled with it because the episodes, there I go doing that again. I call TV issues and comics episodes.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, and the issues I was reading, Swamp Thing's woman was in hell, and he had to like go to hell and fight for her to get her back. And as a kid from a religious family, that was just mind blowing to me. And I just kept reading, and then I looked and I was like, "There's no more." He only had like 3. I have no idea what issue numbers they were, what run it was, but I would love to find that. All I remember is that it was Alan Moore, and I, I've never read another one since then. I've never been able to find one. Although in my snooping, I found other magazines that I should not have found. There was no reading involved, but there was a lot of sweating and what the hell am I looking
Oh,
at? Okay?
jeez.
But I was just looking for more Swamp Things, I promise.
You know what? First of all, man, I just gotta tell you, dude, I love you. I'm so glad that you joined me on these. I
Are you
really
talking
am.
to me?
Yes,
I love you too, brother. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
and I also gotta say, nope. I also love you, man, because long ago when we started doing our fan casts, That is exactly who I picked. Lucas Till. That's who I picked for Oliver Queen. I can't remember the picture. I can't remember the picture that I saw, but there's a certain, like, he had basically the freaking beard. He had the Oliver Queen beard going on, and when I saw that picture, I was like, dude, that is 110% Oliver Queen Green Arrow. I wish I could remember what freaking, because I save everything, folks, just so you know. I save literally everything. And I'm thinking, I was like, man, what, who could I did not save the damn picture. Okay. I'll end up sending you that picture. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
I'll send you that picture, but it's him. He's got this smirky grin on his face, and he literally has, like, it looks like Oliver Queen 100%. I saw that. I think when we did our fan casting with Kyle, I showed the picture. I just don't remember what I did with it on here. But yeah, I would love Lucas Till as Oliver Queen. But so anyway, Green Arrow, Longbow Hunters. Long story short, been on my list for 5 years. Have only read one issue, which means I've already forgotten it. I need to just reread the whole thing.
Since you like archery so much, do you have a bow and arrow?
I do. I haven't messed with it in so long.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I got an old.
Were you into like straight longbows, or did you have like compound bows, or what is it you got?
Uh, I just have an old, or not old, but I have a recurve.
Okay, fair enough.
I think.
Oh, you flipping moron! Not you, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Oh, always
I said
lurking.
flipping. Give me a point.
You do get 1 point. Lorena, it's funny you should appear because the next book on my list of stuff is Superman the Man of Tomorrow. This is one where I don't think I've read anything from this series.
That's the
Uh,
first time I've ever seen Superman with Nope's hair.
oh, dude. So Joe Jusko back in the 90s, he did some cards. I can't remember if they were ever released. But I think he might have done some covers too, where his Superman was a long-haired Superman, and it was one
Interesting.
of my favorite designs.
So Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Interesting.
much.
I wonder why they wanted him to have long hair. I didn't know that such a thing existed.
Yeah, maybe not as long as Nick Cage's hair was, but
I used to do competitive shooting with my um, compound bow. It was a
oh,
lot of fun. I could never get the recurve. Whenever I'd try to shoot one, it would always hit my forearm and leave a nasty scrape.
oh, yeah. Trust me, the first couple times I shot one, but
Well,
this
then
is
my brother had the great idea: wear a wristband. Oh, okay. So I did that, and the string got caught in the wristband and like tore all the skin off my wrist and half my palm. I'm like, thanks for that suggestion, Bob. Thanks. Yeah, Bob, if you're listening. 30 years ago. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, he's not listening.
so this is a run by Roger Stern. It goes up to issue 15, and then there's like issue 1 million, I think. Uh, but yeah, it's so not a whole lot to get caught up with it.
Hey, Lorena, just saw you.
I got some other Superman books on here, and then a bunch that I didn't even put on here because I went looking for Superman stuff that I've never read. Which, again, I haven't read everything, so there's bound to be stuff I didn't realize.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you can help me with this.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I have yearned, and I mean yearned, for a good Bizarro comic. Is
Hmm.
there a good storyline with him or anything? Because as a kid, I was fascinated with him from Challenge of the Super Friends.
Mhm.
But every time I've went to like read a story, the story was kind of lame. So have they ever done a good? Well, you know how excited I got when I got to the episode where Superman and Lois. I'm like, oh my god, it's Bizarro, and I've always wanted a good Bizarro book to read, and I have not found one. So if you
To
ever
be
think of one, come let
I,
me know.
if I find one, I'll let you know. Because to be honest, I haven't read a lot of Bizarro. Most of my Bizarro has been TV stuff like that, like cartoons
Oh, like the Super
and
Friends and
television.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's my main source of that. Like, it doesn't mean I don't want to read some Bizarro. Just me personally, I have never really like sought it out, so I
Hmm.
don't know. There could
I
be
would
some.
love for them to do like an absolute Bizarro or something. That would be a dream come true for me. I would jump into that just to see what they do with
I want everybody absolute.
it.
Just,
Everybody absolute
just do
absolute super friends. Oh my
that's right.
god, there you go. Or better yet, absolute challenge of the super friends.
Yes. Give
Oh,
me an absolute arm fall off, boy.
I want that damn Darth Vader Legion of Doom, dude. That would be awesome.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
Nice.
but yeah, I haven't read this one. Not to be confused with Man of Steel, which is the John Byrne one that I haven't read. Ooh, Action Comics Annual where Superman becomes president.
What?
Nice. That's what she read. An Action Comics Annual where Superman becomes
Oh,
president. Ooh.
cool. I haven't
Well,
heard of that either.
the thing I'm asking folks, too, Lorena, if you have anything that you're like, man, I want to read this, but you just haven't. There's been a series you're like, man, I want to get into this, but I haven't yet. Throw it up in the comments.
You know, I like weird crossovers, and I came across one, but
Hmm.
I've never been able to find it to read, where
Okay.
Superman and Red Sonja hooked up for a run, and I'm
Oh,
like, I would love to read that. But whenever I found it, you know, they're like $30 a book or whatever, and so I'm not doing that. But that just sounds so weird to me. How did they get Spider-Man and Red Sonja hooked up together? I would love to know what that's about.
Spider-Man and Red Sonja or Superman and Red Sonja?
Spider-Man.
Okay, I could have sworn you said Superman to begin with.
No, Spider-Man. If I
Okay,
said Superman, it's only because I'm staring at his long, luscious locks.
yeah,
But
Spider-Man and Red
no, it
Sonja.
was Spider-Man.
I think that could have been because okay, so they co-published. That's what happened. Uh, Marvel and Dynamite co-published it.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But still, how in the world do you get Spider-Man in the same world with Sonya? I would love to know what they did and how they played that. I don't
Comic
even know how many issues there are. I came across it a couple years ago and I've never been able to find it affordably. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that wants to read a book so bad that I'm going to take out a fourth mortgage to buy it. But
There's 5 issues.
okay, so it's just a short run if I can find it.
Hmm.
And then you know one of the other ones because I had you looking, the Christina Queen of the Vampires. I got issue one, cannot find anymore. And it's the same with there was another series called Monsters in My Pocket, where this little boy had these little tiny universal monster dudes that would literally fit in his pocket. And he would bring them, and it was a great, but I've only been able to find the first book. And I've had people on EXP, I've had people on CBSN. If you ever find that stuff and it's affordable, let me know. And Michael from Flames of the Phoenix was able to get me issue 3, but I don't want to read 3 before I read 2. So I have 1 and 3. I've read 1, but I don't want to read 3 until I read 2. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't want to ruin the story.
No, trust me, I got you. Remember, there was a time where in my Invincible series I had like 1 through 7, but I was
Mm.
missing 6.
That's another one that was on my list because of you. You were talking me into it last week or the week before. So I really want to check that one out too. The Invincibles or
Yeah, I
Invincible or whatever.
like the one I bought from Kyle. was a huge
The one you
label
bought
for me.
from Cal?
From Cal.
Okay.
Just an awesome work again that Nope did on that. It's just,
Dude, kiss my hairy behind.
okay.
Nope does some great work. There's no doubt about it. But damn it, I have one moment of glory and I don't even get it.
Yeah, it was Ed.
But it was Nope's idea.
Ah.
He totally
Anyway,
came up with that idea, and I'm like, that's brilliant.
this is one of like 100 Superman books I found today that I didn't put them all on the list, but I will talk about them very briefly. But next one I got here, Basket Full of Heads, Joe Hill.
I've always wanted to check that one out too, but when I saw DC, I lost interest because I'm not a fan of their horror usually.
Well,
is it a red band or anything, or is it just
the Black Label stuff is usually Red Band stuff, and it's Joe Hill. I mean,
oh, I didn't know it was Joe Hill.
yeah, Joe Hill
Oh, I
did a
see
couple.
Hill House now. Yeah.
Yeah, did a couple of books for them actually. Had one that had nothing. It has nothing to do with superheroes. It This one always looked interesting. There was one, I think it was called like The Depth or something like that, but it was a DC Black Label book that he did that Jenna was getting me, and it was really good. I was like, well, that's very far removed from what you're used to DC in any capacity. So when I saw this, I was like, I read the synopsis, and it's like a 13th or 16th century Viking axe she has in her hand. It can take heads off in one swipe, but the heads stay alive. And they talk. Like,
really? I didn't hear that part.
I'm freaking sold.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So not a whole bunch to say on this one, aside from,
Thank you, Nope. Thank you. I appreciate that, my brother.
Yes. I only learned of my travesty after.
I'm just joking.
I know. But DC Black Label stuff has been pretty good. Like again, that Green Hell Swamp Thing book that I have, which is literally the only Swamp Thing I've ever read.
What'd you say it was?
Swamp Thing Green Hell.
Green Hell. Now that's not what I was just talking about, though, was it?
No, I don't think so. I think the Alan Moore stuff you're talking about, I think Nope has the collected thing of it. I think we've talked about that before.
Huh. Probably. He's probably told me where it is too, and I've just forgotten.
But yeah, Basket Full of Heads sounds interesting. This is recent, so this isn't from like 5 years ago or anything, but this is very recent.
What do you know about oh, dang it, Baby Teeth or Baby Tooth or something?
Baby Teeth is a book
that's recent too, but
yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it's about.
If I remember correctly, I think the baby is like the Antichrist.
Oh, okay.
I think it's an Aftershock book, I thought.
Is it?
I think it's an Aftershock book.
That's fairly recent, right? Or am I just showing my age again?
2017.
Oh, okay.
Fairly.
So kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it is. It's a 16-year-old girl who's 9 months pregnant. They don't know how it happened. Having a baby that young is tough. But with the support of her loving family behind her, everything should be okay. Oh, yeah. And also, her baby is the Antichrist, and it's going to break open the barriers between the earthly and demonic planes and unleash eternal suffering to all humankind. Other than that, though, should be fine.
Other than that. Yeah, that sounds like something that could get my attention.
Yeah, Jenna was collecting it. She really liked it.
Is it like a really long one, or is it just like a short?
I think. Let's see. Looking it up live. Come on. Baby Teeth is. Looks like there's 20 issues.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's probably just a couple graphic novels then.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Looks like 4
Who's the
trades.
writer? You know?
The writer is Donnie Cates, I think. Yeah, Donnie Cates.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's on my list. I did a quick list yesterday of things just in case you didn't have any, and that was on mine. Of all of them, though, the Spider-Man Sonya thing just blew my world. I'm like, I've got to find out how they did that.
In fact, I think somewhere, I'll have to check my League of Comic Geeks. I think I have one of those Marvel team ups. I think one that I have is a Red Sonja Spider-Man.
Really?
I think so.
You'll have to let me know if it's any good if you get to read it. I'm just curious as heck how they cross those two worlds over. Because you got one, a medieval princess, basically, and then Spider-Man in New York. How does that happen?
Yeah. Wizards. That's what I'm going to go with.
It's all Doctor Strange's fault.
Probably.
He did the wrong spell again.
Yes. Now, Battle Angel Alita. My main reason for wanting to read this is I really dug the Alita Battle Angel movie. I know there was some weird controversy going on with it because it was releasing the same time as Captain Marvel, and there was a weird hate
I've
boner
never
for
heard
both
of this
these
before,
movies.
and it was a movie?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Apparently it's a manga from like late 80s, early 90s, something like
Yes!
that. And
Cool.
like the movie was just like the movie was dope. Like
You said it's manga?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I won't be able to read it then, but I could see the movie. Have you watched the movie?
Oh yeah.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, I love the movie. That's
And
what
it's
got
called
me excited.
it's called Alita Battle Angel or Battle Angel Alita? Which is
I
it called?
think the movie is called Alita Battle Angel.
Okay, well, you know what to do when you have time. Because 5 minutes after you say it, I'm going to forget the name.
Yes. Let's see. In fact, I'm looking up real fast because I think.
Well, while you're looking, I'll shoot off a couple of mine that I've always wanted to read. The Black Ghost. That's supposed to have like it's like a crime fiction but with vampires.
Ooh.
And it's a indie book. That's on my list that I always look out for, and it came out during the pandemic, right as I couldn't go to my store. So I think the year was 2020. I'm almost positive. And then there was what's the name of that one? I already said Christine, Queen of the Vampires, right?
Yes.
Night World. It's from the 90s. I've always wanted to get a hold of that one too and see what it was about, because it's supposed to be a dark, moody kind of book that takes you in. It's all vampires again, of course, but of course they got to throw in some romance and stuff. But I can get over that. But the thing that makes it interesting is that it's supposed to be taking place with like weird circumstances that vampires have not had to face before, and it just sounds so freaking cool to me. And then the last one, no, well, it's not the last one, but the last one I can think of off the top of my head is Vampire Academy. And that's from like 2009, 2010. It's only a graphic novel. I can't find it anywhere. Oh, The Lion Game, too. I don't
Real
know if I
quick.
said that. Sorry, I'm babbling.
No, you're good. And I went to go, if the damn thing will load.
What do we got here?
I went to grab some art from Battle Angel Alita.
Oh, that's not bad. What is he holding up there?
So it's part of a robot body.
Oh, okay. It looks like he dug up something out of the ground, and I was like, "What has he got there?"
Yeah, he goes to I think he goes to a junkyard and he finds like the upper torso of a robot, takes it home and rebuilds it. If it's anything like the movie, that's what that scene is.
And my number one vampire comic that I've been looking for a long time is called Carmilla or Carmella. It's from like 2012, 2013. And that's one of them I've kept my eyes out for. Everybody's telling me, Ed, it's like right up your alley. It's got gorgeous art, but yet it's got a goth twist to it. And the female vampire is like both a predator and also like a seductress, passionate lover type. And it sounded really cool to me, but I've never been able to find it. I've been looking for those forever. I haven't even seen them on eBay. So it's kind of like, do these comics exist? And I think the biggest reason is they're all indies, and some of the publishers I've never even heard of before. So there was probably a really low print run. But my little league of people, they know what I like to read, and they've come up with these vampire. I'm like, are you screwing with me, or is this real? I can't find it anywhere. No, it's real, I swear. All right.
I see one called Carmilla, the first vampire.
Is it? Yeah. I don't remember a subtitle. That might be a spin-off of it. Maybe.
Well, that's the name of the. I think it's the name of the trade.
Oh, okay.
It's by Amy Chu. And
is it by Joseph Sheridan?
Nope. So this is a different book. That will be helpful though. Joseph Sheridan?
Yeah. It's supposed to be his story that somebody turned into a comic. So I've always looked for Joseph Sheridan, Carmella, and I can't ever find it. But they told me that the artwork is gorgeous and that it's still dark enough that I would love it. And even though there's a love story to it, there's always like a twist, kind of like the praying mantis bites the head off its lover kind of thing. And they're like, there's just enough gore and there's just enough vampire and the art's gorgeous. You'd love it. Like, yeah. It's my Bigfoot. Well, one of them. Like with Katrina, the Vampire Queen. Can't find that either.
Joseph Sheridan.
Yeah. Unless I'm forgetting the name.
I'm finding some stuff, but I'm not sure. Carmilla paperback by
From what I understand, Joseph Sheridan wrote a novel about this character, and it was turned into a comic, and somehow it fell off my radar, and I didn't know anything about it. I haven't even read the book though, so I can't give you many more details than that. I just know that she's not only a predator, but she's supposed to be like a really passionate and dedicated lover type person, but then if you do something bad to her, she will have no problem ending you.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? I know it's not the same thing as there's a show called Lex. Lexx. Yeah, it's called it was Lexx, where it was a woman who, if you didn't satisfy her, she'd murder you.
Okay.
In the vein of like Firefly and weird sci-fi shows.
Oh, I forgot about Bloodlust. I want to read that too. That's like a series. But anyway, they're all vampire stuff. Imagine that. But they're so hard to find. I'm starting to realize that my passion is a frustrating one at times because I can't find the books I want to read. And when I do find a vampire book, it's kind of like American Vampire. I was not impressed. A lot of people loved it. And when I saw Stephen King was part of it, I got all excited, but it was too Twilighty for me. Even some of the Aftershock Archie stuff with vampires I've gotten into reading.
Well, when it comes
It's,
to that stuff, the Archie horror stuff is really damn good.
they
I
just
like.
released a Sabrina one-shot Halloween special on Wednesday that I'm getting my hands on. I look forward to reading some of those. I'm bummed that I missed out on Jughead being a werewolf. And trying to read those, they're so expensive. And I hate what this is one of the topics that Nope and I are going to talk about on one of our shows, is how people have made comic book a commodity instead of something to treasure and enjoy. And it's like the stock market. And yeah, don't get me started.
Okay, so you're not 100% confused when you get it. I sent Alita Battle Angel to one of our chats, and I sent something else to the chat between you and I,
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll find it.
because I think I found the Carmilla you're talking about.
Did
The com-
you?
Yep,
Shut up.
yep.
Well, now I'm looking at eBay or Facebook. Carmilla. That's the right 90s. Yeah, you did find it. Holy
Nice.
crap. Nice pull, my friend. I didn't even. And see the publisher? Aircell Publishing. That's why no one's heard of it when I ask about it, because I've asked a ton of the people on EXP and CBSN. They're like, say again? Like, yeah, cool.
Nice.
It looks like there's spin-offs called The First Vampire and The Last Vampire Hunter, too.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Now I just got to find them. Well done, my friend.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you very much.
very, very welcome. All right, let's see. So back to this list, something that I can't believe I haven't read yet. Superman for All Seasons. This is one of those books that
Tim Sale.
they're like, hey, Superman or All Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, Superman for Tomorrow, and a bunch of other ones. Those are kind of the inspirations that Gunn was going to be pulling for the Superman movie. So this is one that it's been on the list. I got when there was Superman Day, I got a free #1. I didn't check it out, unfortunately, but I do have a #1 of this at least.
Hmm.
Again,
The face on that cover kind of reminds me of the old cartoons.
yeah,
Was it Fleischman or something like that?
Fleischer,
Fleischer. Yeah, there you go.
Max Fleischer. Yeah,
Yep.
I love those. The rotoscoping.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's see what else. So again, this is just it's one that I have. I just hadn't started yet. For me, it's a little newer. So I haven't been waiting on this for like a long time. It's one of those
Was
books.
this just a free comic book day?
No. This
Oh, okay.
when they did Superman Day, this was it was a reprint of #1 that they were handing out with some of the other Superman.
Oh, so it's a few years old. They
Yeah,
just did a reprint. I
yeah,
gotcha. I misunderstood.
yeah. But I've known about the book for a while. I just myself have never read it. So, and this next one I found a little while back as well. This is Real Worlds, not Elseworlds, but Real Worlds Superman.
What's that?
So, this one is the 1950s. There's kind of like a street tough that meets up with this kid, and after like see if I can find the little synopsis here. There's a guy named Pete. He's a street tough. He meets this kid who's kind of shy and meek, and he convinces this kid to get drunk with him. And when he wakes up the next morning, the guy has tattooed the Superman logo across the kid's chest.
Really?
Now, apparently, Superman exists in this world in comic book form, right? So, this is kind of this kid turns from innocent kid to like a hardened criminal. But then there's something about the logo on his chest that kind of turns him around. So it's kind of like a mark of shame at first because this dude got me drunk and tattooed a big Superman shield across my chest.
Hmm.
And eventually, like I said, it sounds super interesting. And it kind of has that feel of there's a Paul Dini book about Batman, but it's not really Batman. It is about Paul has told this story. I think the first time I heard it was he was with Kevin Smith, but Paul Dini was walking home from a date and he got mugged and was badly, badly beaten. So he did a story about him being mugged, about there not being like a Batman and stuff. Like it's really interesting. It's a really interesting story. But this is like you have the Elseworld stuff, but this is real world. This is where they take does having that symbol on his chest, does that mean something more to him? Like, is this gonna and it says right there that it's gonna, change the way he thinks about things. But again, I just thought it was super interesting. I'd never seen
Is it a one shot kind of
this
thing?
before. I haven't looked that part up. I think it is though.
So it's not Superman per se. It's about
Right.
someone getting tattooed with Superman suddenly starts acting like Superman after being not Superman.
Yes. It just
Interesting.
yeah, it just seems like a super interesting story. So I was like, you know what? I think I think eventually I'm gonna read this. No, it's not technically Superman, but it kind of also answers that question I've always had of, you know, and I think Best Coast Comics just did a show kind of like this, where they were like, "Can comics change the world?" Well, are certain people good because they look up to these fictional heroes? Is there people out there that are comic readers that sometimes you have the feeling, if I didn't love this comic character, it's a weird question I've always had. If I didn't love Superman, would I always try to do the right thing?
Hmm.
Would
Interesting
it
spin
be?
on it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, does having this symbol on his chest really change his outlook? And is he a fan of the character and decides I want to live up to that? No, I don't have the powers of Superman, but I can still be Superman. And that's the greatest power that he has is just being good, being a good person, doing the right thing when he can.
Hmm. Yeah, that cover had me curious because Superman with a knife. I was like,
Yeah,
what is up with that?
yeah,
But now I
yeah,
can see that he's not wearing a shirt and it is just a tattoo after I look closer.
yeah. So then that spun off when I found this earlier. That spun into there's so much Superman that I've never even heard of. There's Superman and Batman Generations 1, 2, and 3, so three separate stories. There's and then just stuff I haven't read like Superman the Authority, Superman Treasury 2025, Superman Fantastic Four, Superman for Tomorrow, Superman Cow, Peace on Earth, Secret Identity, Speeding Bullets, which is a story where I guess Clark becomes Batman. Like his
Hmm.
ship lands in Gotham, and he's
Hmm.
basically Batman with superpowers.
That'd be interesting.
Strength, Man of Steel, The World, one called True Grit, where Superman, I guess, an Elseworld story, obviously, where Superman lands in England instead of America or Russia.
So it's like different takes on Red Sun, basically.
Some of these, yeah,
Interesting. Have you
like
have you ever had a chance to read any of the really old Superman comics to see if those? clicked with you? Like, the first 10 years? I know you don't
I
own any of them, but have you ever had a chance to read any of them?
outside of the Action Comics #1 reprints that
Uh-huh.
I have read, I think 2, 3, and 4.
Huh. I was just curious. Back then, did they try to keep it more realistic, or was he fighting super villains and stuff?
Uh,
Because I know the TV shows, it was always realistic,
yeah,
and
most of
that's
the
why I
time,
loved it so much.
yeah, most of the time it was like gangsters.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then I can't remember uh, when in the comics he flew, but when he started out in the comics, he didn't fly.
Yeah, he just jumped
Hmm.
like
Jumped or
Hulk,
ran on telephone wires.
which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because I saw a picture. I did not know that until I saw that picture.
Yeah, so there's just a plethora for Superman fans out there to get lost in. Whether you want to do real worlds, Elseworlds, main continuity, one shots, and there's a lot of characters like that. I did not realize how many Superman stories there were. I knew there'd be a lot, but looking at some of the stuff that's collected, some of the stuff that's out there, there's a lot of Superman stuff. Like I would never get bored. I would never be like, well, I don't have any new Superman to read. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You have lots to read.
Hmm.
And this one, like I said, it may not have superheroes in it, but it piqued my interest. It piqued my interest a lot. So definitely on the list. Let's see, the next one I got, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I am an unapologetic fan of that movie, but again, I didn't know it was a comic. I just thought it was, hey, we're going to make a movie where we take these legends from stories and put them on a team. I didn't know it was a comic. I also didn't know that the comic is a lot more brutal and very R-rated compared to that movie. I've seen panels of the comic that I was like, wow, that definitely wasn't in the movie at all. But again, not knowing the comic probably gave me a little bit of I'm not slanted towards the book is better. I thought it was a fun movie. I know that it's also the last movie that Sean Connery did. Uh, that's the movie that retired him, basically, is the story. Um, but I've always, like, again, once I learned that this was a comic, I've always wanted to read it. I just never have. And I got a couple more movie type ones on this list that are like that. But I don't know if anybody knows the death by Unga Bunga joke, but apparently that happens in this book.
Hmm.
So,
You just reminded me of another one that Bigby was sent me. That apparently a porch pirate got it or something. Is I've always wanted to read the Legend of Sleepy Hollow from the Classics Illustrated. I've heard about it, but I've never gotten my hands on a copy. And he sent me 3 that he sold at a very, very reasonable price because he knew I loved them and I didn't get them.
it's terrible.
I'm just not meant to read it. Every time I get a lead, something happens.
It's terrible. But yet again, I just realized another Alan Moore book. So
This one is? Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I see the name. The movie did not take for me. I
Hmm.
thought it was extremely boring. But yeah, I wouldn't mind reading it if Alan Moore did it. He's kind of like Cullen Bunn in that if he wrote it, it's usually something I'm going to dig.
Yeah, and there was a time where I used to say Alan, or not Alan Moore, but Cullen Bunn could do no wrong. But there was a time where they had him writing so much it felt like he was being stretched too thin.
Oh
And
yeah,
some
yeah.
of the books suffered a little bit, in my opinion, on that.
Hmm.
Here's another one that I knew it was a comic, still love the movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
Uh, Again, Alan Moore, V
Hmm.
for Vendetta. I have never read the comic. This is another DC compact. So I was like, huh. I really like DC doing these compact books like this because they're pretty cheap, and according to people that I know that have them, there's not like a drop in quality or anything. Like
What do you
page
mean, like a
quality.
compact book? Are you talking like Reader's Digest, abridged edition, or something?
No, no, it's compact in the fact that it's smaller than most trades would be. So it's like a small trade. It's the whole.
Oh,
They've been,
okay.
yeah. DC and Marvel have both been doing this, where I think DC's released like the Collected Court of Owls like this in a compact, smaller size. Invincible's done the same thing, where they're re-releasing their volumes in the compact size.
Huh.
So it's a smaller size trade.
Interesting. I love the movie, so I would be down for reading that too, especially if Moore wrote it.
Yeah. Let's see. So here's one that I never finished. It's one that I started, but I never finished it. I've gotten all kinds of like offshoots of it, and that's Watchmen by again Alan Moore. This is another compact edition. Uh, people have told me, people that have read this has said, aside from the giant squid and some other part, that the movie was basically a 1-to-1 to the comic. Like it was the most comic to screen accurate depiction of a comic book ever. I've never read it. I love the movie. DC compacts are great. Love the format, easy to travel with. Okay, yeah, but I've never read. I enjoy the movie. I had people when this movie came out. They're like, nah. I took the disc and I threw it out the window after the first time they read it or watched it. I was like,
Why?
I I don't know. But later they would come back after, I think like after a year or two. They're like, I ended up watching it again, and you know what? I actually really liked it. And my spiel to it was, look, I haven't read the comic, but people that I know who have say that it's like completely like so accurate it's not even funny.
Huh.
Which brought me to a thing that I talked about a while ago. Yeah, that's on my watch list. I haven't watched that yet, the Watchmen TV show. Um the original Watchmen movie, if you've never, go on YouTube and see if you can find it. It's Ray. Oh, he passed away recently. Bigger guy named Ray, not Ray Winstone, I don't think. Dang it, he was also in one of the Three Musketeers movies, and he played Punisher and Punisher Warzone. Dang it.
I'd Google it for you if I could, but I got the game on, man.
No, that's all right. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I forgot this dude's name. Ray Stevenson. It's
Oh,
Ray, yeah,
from Mandalorian or Ahsoka.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, it was him as Rorschach, and then Goodness, I'm forgetting names left and right now.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Uh, uh, as soon as I see this dude, I will know exactly who it is.
Nope knows. He's amazing when it comes to names.
It was a guy who played Mormont.
Mormont?
Mormont.
The heck is that?
That's the character's last name. Jorah Mormont.
Oh,
That's the character's. Uh, goodness gracious! Like, mm, Ian Glenn. Jeez, there we go. Ian Glenn. What was the owl? Jeez. But it's an interesting clip to see the two of them and not, Patrick Wilson and Jackie Earl Haley as those characters. Roundabout way, and I lost my freaking point looking for the name. But anyway, I'll eventually read this. I got a lot of Alan Moore stuff on this list. I just noticed that it's Brian K. Vaughan and Alan Moore. But I'll definitely end up watching this, reading this. Like I said, I've read a little bit. Just I need to complete it. Along with this next thing that I've only read 2 issues of, and I know Batman Hush.
oh, that is so good.
I don't know why. I read the first 2 issues of this, but again, I think if I would have bought a trade of this or something, I would have finished it. But yeah, it's Tommy Elliott, who is just one next to Zaz. Tommy Elliott Hush is just a creepy ass character. He's like, the whole thing with him is just so creepy. But I only got 2 left. Not much I can say about this one. I know that it's a great Superman, great Batman story. But again, folks, I haven't read Court of Owls either, so I don't have. Yeah, I don't have very many like huge Batman stories I've read, including this next one, Long Halloween.
You gotta read that one.
Oh, I know. The last time you talked about it had me thinking about it. It's like, I don't even remember reading any of this, or I might have and just never finished it. But this is another compact. But yeah, I hear nothing but great things about this one. No, I have not watched. I even haven't watched the cartoon. I know they did the 2 parts.
You know, I liked the cartoon so much that I have made that part of my yearly Halloween watch.
I need to read this, and I need to finish. I need to watch part 1 and part 2 of the Long Halloween.
It's so clever in Long Halloween how they start it on Halloween and end it on Halloween and address like almost every holiday in between. It's so clever. That's what I like about it. It's very clever.
So here's the last one on my list. And again, this was a movie. Didn't know it was a comic. This is also a movie that is so far removed from the comic that when I learned about it, it blew me away. And that is The Mask from Dark Horse. When I found out this was a comic, it was not even after the movie. There was a cartoon of the mask for a long time, or for a little bit, I should say. A long time ago is what I meant. So soon after the movie, we had the Mask cartoon show. Really dug it. Now, I don't remember how I found out that it was a comic, but I did. And I went and didn't find issues, but I found pictures, found panels. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, this isn't the same thing, right? This is like when they do a parody of something, right? That's what this is. A little Google search, a little Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is not the best place for information, but at the time, and I was reading on it and I was like, wow, Stanley's a dick. And he's not even the first mask. And he's not the last one. This thing goes through a bunch of people from what I've read. And they all are terrible and murderous and just insane. So, again, this is something that has been on my list for a while. I need to find it. I love the mask movie. And, also when I was a kid, when I heard somebody talk about, hey, the Mask is coming out, this new movie, my first thought was, they're remaking the Rocky Dennis Mask? Wasn't it sad enough? And then I was like, oh, okay, it's something completely different than the Mask I was thinking of. If you've never seen The Mask with Cher and Eric Stoltz, folks, and you want to cry a lot, watch that movie. But yeah, so I've got about 25 plus books on the list of stuff that I need to read. Speaking of things that I should read, not a good segue at all. Make sure, folks, if you're not subbed up to Weird Opes, you need to. All right. These are my co-hosts every week. They have their own channel. They got some things in the pipeline, I'm sure of.
Yep, we decided we were gonna have a little fun with sports. So Nope and I are gonna guess the winners of all the NFL games each week, and at the end of the season, we haven't decided what we're gonna do, if it's gonna be a positive for the winner or a punishment for the loser. But it should be interesting. And we welcome people to submit their picks too.
Yep. So make sure you're subbed up. Make sure you check posts, folks. I know that's weird, but there's a lot of times that even if you're subbed to a channel, you don't always see the posts they make. So if you're subbed up to them, go check out their posts.
Tell them about what?
The foosball.
Foosball.
Hey, Lorena, thanks for stopping by. Take care. One of these days, you'll be here on with us. Eventually, allegedly.
One of these days, we're going to start a new segment too, called the Happy Hour. We're shooting for next Friday, where you just get together and BS and chill out after a week's work of work. We got some things coming. Hope to see some people around.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was a culmination of a couple of things. I was just like, I'm reading the boys. I got through the 72 issues, and I just, for whatever reason, I went back and found that I was like, did I do a video once where I was like, some comics I want to read but haven't yet? Sure enough, I watched it and I was like, wow, didn't read that, didn't read that, didn't read that, read an issue of that, read that volume. I was like, it'd be kind of fun to find out if there's folks that they have something that they're, it's not even that they're not interested in reading it. It's just they haven't had time or something. Something's come up, but there's a series you're like, I really want to read this. Like newer ones, Slasher's Apprentice. Haven't started it yet. Haven't read any more Jump Scare. I need to get on that. Those Not Afraid. I've only read the first issue, and I really dug that. And there's like 4 issues out now. I'm getting to where now where I'm actually reading like newer books. I mean, I've read 2 Batman books that were released one after the other in the last 2 weeks. Like, it's pretty good for me. Like, I don't normally read new books this recent. And I got another one I'm reading tomorrow, so I can talk about it if somebody asks about it. So it's the strangest thing. It's not that I don't want to read, but there are some times where it's not until I'm reading that the next thing I know is like it's 2 or 3 in the morning and I'm still reading. Like it's that, it's almost like the workout thing. I'm gonna start working out this day, and then you push it off, and then you push it off, and then by the time you do it and you get it done, you're like, oh, it's already over. And then you do it the next day, and then you form the habit of doing it, and then it's just like clockwork.
It was a fun topic.
Oh yeah. Let's see. And that's your call with that.
What?
Oh, you're not. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot you.
I sent you a thumbnail.
You
Oh, I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, folks. We are going to show off.
And the voices you are about to hear are none other than Mr. Nope and myself.
Well, it's just the thumb.
Oh, just the thumb. Well, I thought he was playing the thing.
Let's
I guess
see.
you have to turn in to hear the thing.
There we go. Yes. You can't give it all away.
Well, I never know what he's thinking.
I love this. Like, that is so damn good. Yeah, that's tremendous.
Well, just wait until you see the opening.
I'm really excited to hear that because I think I've seen the rough.
Yeah, you got a preview.
I got a preview.
Things have changed.
Ooh, yes.
In a good way, and in a very funny way.
Awesome. Yeah, that is going to be a ton of fun.
We want to make it a weekly Friday thing. It's just we've had some life happen the last couple of Fridays, and we haven't got around to it. But we're hoping to launch it this coming Friday. And it'll probably be around 5 Eastern time, somewhere in there. But yeah, come check us out and join in on the nonsense.
Yes. Yeah.
And just a heads up, we are nowhere near as organized as Jay is with his show. Ours is like just fun, crazy chaos. So hopefully you can come join in on the chaos.
It's kind of like that trickle down effect, man. I'm not as set up as, or I don't think I'm as set up as like Phable and Stu and Robbie and all them. And you don't think you're as set up as me. So it's just like trickle down chaos.
There's no better word for it. Especially with the chaos piece.
That's true. That is true. So, folks, for once, this is actually going to be a shorter show. Sort of an easy topic. Like I said, I had this planned. I was thinking, this would probably take. It took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, which is good, because I was like, man, this is going to take like an hour, and then I'm going to have nothing to talk about for the rest, like any other time. But shorter shows are all right every now and then. I got a busy week ahead of me, and I'm sure a lot of other folks do too. So I think I'm gonna call it there.
Sounds good. Fun as always, my brother.
Oh,
Sorry I was distracted, but at least I was here.
no,
And we
no.
lost, in case
Oh,
anyone cares. But that's all right.
well,
It happens.
at least you could come here and have a good time.
I didn't throw anything and I didn't break anything, so it was a good night.
That's true.
And I muted myself before I let the one bomb loose.
Nice. Awesome.
Thanks for having me on. Fun as always, brother. Hail Hydra.
All right. I will see you in just a second, boss.
Sounds good.
Here we go. All right, folks. I know. Holy crap. We're ending before the 2.5 hour mark. We're ending before midnight. But again, this is the only thing I had planned. I was like, I'm gonna try to do a kind of a shorter show tonight. So successful to me. Again, if you're watching on the rewind, you have any books that fit this criteria of stuff you're interested in that you haven't gotten to, or maybe even stuff that you started reading for whatever reason you fell off, leave them in the comments. If you've read any of the books that I've talked about tonight, let me know what you thought about them. I'm always curious to hear people's thoughts on things. Again, let me check. To check before I open my mouth again. Okay, so 149 subs away from 800. Everybody who stops by, even if it's just for a second, you just say hi again, means the world to us. We appreciate it so much. We got some stuff coming. Got some more shorts planned. I'll actually try to get them done. I don't think I'll have anything done next week because, like I said, next week on the experience is going to be crazy busy work. Again, want to thank you all for stopping by, hanging out tonight. If you're watching on the rewind, your first time here, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So, yeah. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Next week, while my birthday is the 14th, live show on the 13th. So it'll lead into my birthday. I will be 43 years old. I'm not kidding. That's really how old I'll be. Yes, Tangents Corralled this time. Next week might get a little crazy. But again, thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Check out Weird Opes. Check out 9 Panel Grid, Pop Culture Philosophers, Nick with Comic Culture, Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. Just all these amazing people in this community that just make me strive to do well, to do good things in this community, to not have any of the drama. And I'm going to get going before I start going on a tangent and go another 30 minutes. I caught myself, but anyway, hope you all have an awesome rest of your week, and I will catch you next time. Later.